What's up, everybody? This is Rashid again with another powerful video, and we're going to stay on the same topic because it's a very important topic. You know, it's something that we all should be talking about right now, and that's gentrification. Judging by the comments that I read, you know, on videos concerning gentrification, and judging by me just interacting with people in the street and, you know, just speaking with people concerning gentrification, I find that a lot of us are very ignorant, miseducated, or misinformed about why we should be pissed off about gentrification. You know, we really don't understand why we should be fighting back. You know what I'm saying? Why we should be angry about gentrification. Basically, to African Americans, to Puerto Ricans, to West Indians, to Dominicans, or any other black or Latino ethnic group out there, your government basically said, fuck you. Okay, the United States government basically said, fuck you. We are not going to give you the tools, the investments, or the resources that you can use to improve your ghettos that we created for you. Okay, that's basically what the government said to you. That's what the federal, state, and local governments and private industry basically said to all the blacks and Latinos, you know, who lived in those inner cities for decades, living in hell. The government basically said, fuck you. We're not giving you the resources or the investments that you can use to improve your communities. Okay, now that white middle class and white upper class are moving back in, now they're bringing in the resources and the investments within the community. Okay, and like I said, we should be pissed off about that because, you know, we've been in these neighborhoods and these ghettos for decades, you know, and the government basically, you know, it was like it was nothing they can do to stop the chaos that was going on out here. Now that white folks are moving back in, now you have all the tools and all the resources. The city has every damn thing at their disposal now to improve the quality of life in these neighborhoods because white middle class and white upper class are here. You see, like I taught you in the first video, at one point whites were in these neighborhoods first. Okay, at one point whites were in the inner city communities first. At one point. However, when blacks and Latinos started to move into the inner cities, those whites who were living in the projects, who were living in the ghettos, okay, you know, they had a problem with gangs. Like I told you, you had poor Irish, Italians, and Jews who were there. They had a problem with the gangs, with crime, with murder, you know. And the Anglo-Saxons, same problems. You know, they was killing, shooting, and robbing each other all throughout the inner city communities. But when blacks and Latinos moved into those inner city communities, those whites moved to the suburbs, okay? And they did not move to the suburbs on their own, okay? A government agency called FHA, Federal Housing Administration, which was started by Franklin D. Roosevelt, okay, when he started the New Deal era, okay? He created this agency, or this agency was created out of the New Deal era called FHA. FHA took white folks out of the ghettos, okay, gave money to land developers to build houses in the suburbs, only for white folks, okay? Nice, renovated houses, okay? $7,000 for the whole house, okay? Easy mortgage loans, all right? 30 years to pay back, okay? So what that did was take white people out of the ghettos and place them into suburban communities, okay? And all those resources in those inner city communities were taken out and pushed into the suburbs with white folks, okay? All the factory jobs that were here, okay, which is the reason why so many blacks and Latinos were moving to the north. So many African Americans was leaving the south. So many Puerto Ricans was leaving Puerto Rico. You know, you got West Indians leaving the Caribbean, coming to the north looking for those factory jobs, okay? But those factory jobs closed down and moved with the white folks to the suburbs, okay? So, you know, and then, you know, as more blacks and Latinos started to move into the inner cities, the neighborhoods were what they call redline, okay? All the civil services were kept out of those inner city communities. The police didn't protect the communities. The police didn't keep the crime down the way they were supposed to, okay? You know, they didn't fix up the roads. The playgrounds weren't repaired. You know, sanitation didn't come around to pick up garbage and clean up the streets the way they were supposed to, okay? You had private industry that just like the factories, like I said before, they just shut down, closed up, and moved to the suburbs. So the jobs were not there, okay? And those neighborhoods went downhill from there. They fell into very poor socioeconomic conditions, okay? Now that white folks are moving back into the inner city communities, okay, you see all these improvements now. It's not because they're more civilized than you. It's not because they make more money than you. No. All of these things that are going on now has a history from the past. Okay? For all the blacks, okay, for all the African Americans, for all the Puerto Ricans, for all the Dominicans, for all the West Indians, and all other black or Latino ethnic groups that were living in the inner city communities, your communities would have never been low income and would have never been ghettos had your communities received the same social economic investments and resources that were being placed in white suburban neighborhoods. Okay, you got to study the history on this. All right. Okay, you look at, I'm in Brooklyn. You look at, East New York. You look at Bed-Stuy, Bushwick, Williamsburg. Crown Heights, Canarsie, Flatbush. East Flatbush. You look at all these neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you see bike lanes, you see bus lanes, you see a couple of years ago they had cops literally on every corner. Every corner you turn, you saw a cop. Two cops on every corner to bring down the crime rate. Well, why the hell didn't they do that for the blacks and Latinos who were trying to do the right thing? Okay, for those individuals who were living in those inner city communities for decades, the ones who were going to school, the ones who were going to work, the ones who were trying to raise their children. Okay, little kids, 5 and 10-year-olds who were trying to play in the park. Okay, the older people was trying to sit on the stoop. Why didn't you make the neighborhood safe for them? Why did you not improve the quality of life for them? Okay, now that white folks are moving in, now you improve the quality of life. You got the bus lanes, the bike lanes, the cafes, the gyms, taxis. The taxis are all over the place now. You couldn't get a city taxi out here. Not because they were so damn scared. It's because they didn't want to bring. They felt that maybe there's no money out there. Now there's a law that says the cabs have to come to Brooklyn. There's a law. They can't refuse anybody a ride to the outer boroughs. And they can no longer stay in Manhattan. They have to go up to the outer boroughs. There's a law for that now. Okay? It's a lot. Everything's just improved and made better for them. The roads are repaired. You got, years ago we didn't have bike lanes. And if you rode your bike on the sidewalk years ago, you got a ticket for that or you got locked up because we didn't have bike lanes. So what the hell we were supposed to do? But now you have your bike lanes and people are still riding bikes on the sidewalk. But police don't say nothing now because white folks got bikes. So you got to understand what's going on. You got to really understand and really think. All right? And when we ourselves, and a lot of people believe that it's because, blacks didn't buy any property and we didn't invest into anything. That's all bullshit. You had plenty of blacks who were able to obtain property and own houses and businesses. But what you have to understand is that the city did not put civil services or adequate civil services within your community. You did not receive the same resources, which brought down your property value. Okay, you're trying to own a house, but you got some guys who may want to sell drugs. Well, the police is supposed to take care of that, not you. So that brings down your property value. So where were the hell the police at then? Why wasn't the gangs and whoever, why wasn't all that not removed out the community so the next generation of young people would not be influenced by that negativity and they can grow up? Damn city didn't give a fuck. Simple as that. The city didn't give a fuck. The city did not give a fuck. They just did not care. You understand? We at the point to where it's like, if you don't see what's going on now, and if you don't understand really what America is about towards us as being so-called minorities, because we're not minorities, we're so-called minorities, because, when you really look at the Caribbean, or even, the Latin Caribbean, or even Latin America, there's more so-called minorities than there are white people in the Western Hemisphere. So we're not minorities. So we got to understand what's really going on out here, you know. Our neighborhoods are being improved only because the majority of white middle class and white upper class have moved in. Okay, your neighborhoods are not being improved for you, you know, and that's a crime, you know. That's injustice. You know, it's no different from Jim Crow laws. It's no different from, like I said, the civil rights era. You know what? You know, a lot of leaders were trying to fight against during that time. And it's like, now, where are the community leaders? You know, these people that we put in office, where the fuck they at? You know what I'm saying? They're not speaking against nothing. They're not trying to start no mass movement. Like, what the hell is going on? You know, you look at Harlem, you know, you look at Spanish Harlem, you know what I'm saying? You look at Bushwick, you look at East New York, all these neighborhoods, you know, Brownsville, wherever, throughout Brooklyn, throughout the whole New York City, and, you know, and throughout every other major city, you know what I'm saying? Detroit, Chicago, LA, Oakland, San Francisco, Miami, St. Louis. You know what I'm saying? All over, you have these social problems. So this is how you know these are something, this problem is something that was socially engineered. Because throughout all these, you know, cities, you had all these social issues, you know, and nothing was done to correct these problems. But now that white folks or either rich Asians are moving in those neighborhoods, now everything is being fixed up. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at, you know, the black and Latino population, right? When you look at the blacks and Latinos who own houses, and, you know, we pay a higher property tax than rich white folks. We pay a higher property tax on our houses and on our businesses that we own, but yet we don't get the same adequate resources. Okay, we paying higher property tax, but we're getting less resources. Okay, you got rich white folks who pay a low income tax, a low property tax, but get more resources in their community. What kind of shit is that? So we should be very pissed the fuck off. We should be trying to fight back, and we should stop being so damn passive. This shit is serious, man, because we, you know, our kids gonna have to deal with this. This is what, you know, we went from slavery, you know, to the so-called Reconstruction era that didn't do shit for us, to Jim Crow, to the Civil Rights Movement, you know, to the gangs of the 70s, to the crack era in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? All the police brutality. You know what I'm saying? You know, all the bullshit throughout the 90s. Now we're dealing with gentrification. Basically, it's like they just finishing us off. It's like they just finishing us off. And we, you know, and we're not getting serious about this. You know, a lot of us just don't understand. A lot of us are miseducated out there concerning this. So we really got to pay attention and wake up to what the fuck's going on in our neighborhoods. I myself, I'm trying to organize, you know, because we need a mass movement, okay? We don't need just giving lectures and speeches. We need, or these little small, you know, these little small protesting that they have, you know, every now and then, little small protesting. You know, we need a mass movement. We need, you know, listen, all of you blacks and you Latinos, because Latinos, you share the same goddamn social problems as blacks in this damn country, okay? You know, especially here in New York. You know what I'm saying? You know, when you're in junior high, when you're in elementary, when you're in high school, when you're in jail, when you in prison, you see nothing but blacks or Latinos in there. You know what I'm saying? My closest friends were fucking either black or they was Puerto Rican or Dominican or West Indian. You know what I'm saying? Well, West Indians are black, but I meant African Americans or either West Indians. But what you got to understand is that, you know, we got to get serious about what's going on. We really do. Because, you know, our communities are being destroyed. You understand? And we have to build mass movements. Like I'm saying, I'm trying to organize a organization, me and some other people who understand exactly what I'm saying, you know, who come from different black and Latino communities. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to organize, we're trying to create a mass movement, because we have to, you know, it's not just about Bed-Stuy alone. It's not just about Crown Heights alone. It's not just about Bushwick or Williamsburg alone, or Spanish Harlem or West Harlem alone, or the South Bronx alone. It's about us all getting together collectively and creating a mass movement. Okay, we need a mass movement. And we need to start that here in New York, because New York is the center stage. Believe that, it is. Once we can start that here in New York, then the rest of the country will follow. All right? We have to create that, especially here in New York. You know, what we need to be doing is, like I said, you know, everybody from different communities have to get on the same page. We're trying to organize. I have an organization called the Black and Latino Alliance Against Damn Gentrification. And what this organization is going to do is bring the Black and Latino communities together, so collectively we can have a mass movement to where we're being direct about what needs to happen. Okay, we're letting this government know you only got one or two options. Either you stop the gentrification of low-income neighborhoods. Like I said, there would never been low income had the damn government not redlined the fucking neighborhoods. If they need to stop the gentrification of low-income neighborhoods. Okay, that's one. Or the areas that we are moving to, you're not going to leave those as ghettos for us. You're going to give us the same economic resources and investments to improve the social economic conditions in our communities, just like you did for the whites when they were in those damn ghettos. Okay, the same thing you did for those poor Irish, Italians, and Jews who was in those ghettos, which, you know, things that you did which put them into middle class in the suburbs. You know, you're not going to just leave our neighbors into ghettos. You're also going to give us the same resources. You know, simple as that. You know, so, you know, you only got one or two options. You know, we're going to be direct, you know, once we get this movement moving, you know. So, I'm going to leave contact information, you know, those of you who are in the New York area. You know, we all need to be down with this. Everybody need to be down with this. You know what I'm saying? You come from these communities. We all need to be down for this. We need to stop bullshitting. You know, we have to organize. We have to get real serious. Because I'm telling you now, what's being done is that a lot of blacks and Latinos, you're being pushed to the South. Okay? In the South, there's nothing down there. There's no damn jobs down South. Okay? You know, when you look up the 10 poorest states in America, they're all down South. South Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky, Alabama, North Carolina, Mississippi, West Virginia, Arkansas, Louisiana, New Mexico. You know, all these poor states, the top 10 are all down South. And this is where they're trying to push us towards into extreme poverty. So we have to pay attention to what's going on around us and get serious. Okay, I'm going to leave contact information, like I said. You know, those who, you know, I don't even want to say those who are interested, because we all need to be interested in this. This is about our future. You understand? This is about our damn future. It's about our kids' future. You know, and if we're not going, if we can't pass it on to the next generation, our generation has to do something about it. You know what I'm saying? Not just, you know, protesting and holding up signs, but we got to get really active in creating mass movements to where we scare this damn government, you know, that we are willing and ready to make moves, because what's being done here is this is injustice. This is criminal what they're doing. You know, and you see how another big thing is how they decriminalize a lot of laws now. You know, in the inner city communities, things that blacks and Latinos used to get locked up for decades. You know, just simple minor crimes. You know, you get caught with a small bag of weed. You know, you're riding your bike on the sidewalk, or you're urinating in public, or you're hopping a turnstile, or you're drinking alcohol in public. These small crimes resulted in they locked us up for it. You know, then you got a criminal record for something that's as petty as that. But now it's decriminalized. Why? Because you have white people doing the same damn thing, and you don't want to criminalize them with that. You understand what I'm saying? So everything gets improved in your community because white folks moved there. Study the history on this. There's history here. It's called redlining. Okay? You have to study that. Okay? When whites were here, they left. And all the resources and all the jobs and everything left with them. And our neighborhoods were pushed purposely into damn ghettos. Okay? And then when we ourselves try to get up to fight for change, you know, with the Black Panther Party or with the Puerto Rican Young Lords, when we ourselves said, you know what? Fuck the government. They're not going to help us. We're going to do it ourselves. They infiltrated those organizations and, you know, and try to bring them down. But we're going to do things a little different. We're going to learn from those organizations' mistakes, and we're going to do things different. Okay, we're going to organize ourselves, and it's not going to be just a few of us. You know, it's going to be a more mass organization. This is what we're doing, mass organizing. Okay, everyone needs to get involved. If you live in a damn community, you need to get involved. If not, you need to move out. You need to move out. You need to go down south then, because if you're not going to get involved, you need to move the fuck out. Get out. We don't need you here if you're not going to fight for your damn community. all the gangs, everybody else out there thinking they some damn gangsters or the niggas in the streets. This is something to fight for. This here is something to fight for. You either with us or you against us. As simple as that. Because we're not playing here no more. No more time to be playing games. It's time to get serious. So like I said, I'm gonna leave your comments in the comment section. I'm going to leave some contact information. Like I said, you know, me and some other individuals coming from all over the city, we trying to start a new organization called the Black and Latino Alliance Against Damn Gentrification. So holla at me. 1.